Hi, hello, good morning, my friends. It's so very good to see you. I hope you are doing well this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are joining me from in the world. My name is Tracy Fair, if we have not met before. I'm one of the online educators for Heartfelt Creations, and I'm based out of Manitoba, Canada, and I can't wait to share my project with you today. We're going to be working with those wonderful circle dies along with the card bases, and I'm super excited to show you how to make a quick and easy easel card that's just going to wow your family and your friends. So come on in, let's pop on over to the work surface and take a look at what we're going to be working on today. So this is the front version of the card. This is the card front, how you would be presenting it. As you can see, it's going to pop open here and sit as a beautiful easel card. Here you can see, I'll try and kind of bring it up here a little bit that you can see we've got the happy birthday stop here as the main portion on the bottom half of the easel card, and you can see how quickly and easily that comes together to fold up for presentation. Good morning, Christy. It's good to see you. Hello, Terry, my friend from BC. Wonderful to see you as well. Patricia, oh, I'm so glad we get to craft together this morning. Now, before we move along, one of the main comments and questions I get about a card like this is how are we going to send this or present this to someone? So before we got too deep into the creating today, I wanted to address that really quickly because I know this question often pops up in the middle of our creative process and I don't really get to address it and show you how I do that. So I wanted to show you, you can purchase these 6 1/8 by 6 1/16 card boxes. They are crystal clear card boxes, excuse me, that you can find at www.heartfeltcreations.us. They're see-through, they're really beautiful, they're easy to use. They come to you flat, so all you have to do is fold them and pop them open, and you're going to see that these cards fit in here beautifully. You kind of have to watch your petal pieces a little bit as you're pushing it in, but here you can see, I may have to turn this one a little bit just because that leaf is in the way, but here you can see how this is now nestled nicely in this clear box and perfect for presentation. You're going to be able to mail this card. You can print out a label on your computer, adhere it to the back. I've sent them that way as well. So again, I know that question gets asked a lot, so that was something I quickly wanted to address before we got into our creative process. So if you are new here today, I would love for you to let us know that you are new to the Heartfelt Creations family. We would love to be able to welcome you and share our crafting tips and tricks with you. So currently the window frame, or the window dies and the card bases are on our spring savings collection, or promotion, sorry, which is going to be running until May the 25th, 11:59 p.m. or while supplies last. Now we have a couple of bundles for you that I didn't want you to miss out on. So here we have the decorative die bundles. We're going to be using the rounded window frame die today to embellish the stopper on our easel card. We're going to be using the rounded lattice window today. I'm going to show you how you can mix and match these so that you can get different looks on your card. The rounded sunlit window, that's one we're going to be using on the base here as well. And the rounded eyelet is the one that we used last Friday. So we won't be showcasing this one too much today, but I did want to let you know that these 4 dies have been bundled at a 15% off savings for you in the spring savings promotion that's currently running. So it's a great time for you to be picking up those dies. They are available singly as well at a 10% savings. We also have the different card bases. Now we have the 6x6 swing fold card, which is the one that we used last time, that had the circular front and the 6x6 panels. It was a triple fold. We've got the 6x6 round bifold card. That's the one we're going to be using today. that we're going to be using the easel card. We've got the interlocking fold card. I have a sample of this one later on at the end of the live to show you exactly how these flips and folds work to interlock. And we have the shutter fold card as well. So this has that beautiful shutter action that looks like shutters when you have the square card as well. I have a sample to show you at the end there as well on that one. So again, another fabulous bundle, 15% off. You're getting all 4 of these card bases. There's 6 card bases in each package, so that's a great time to be stocking up on your card bases as well. So that brings us back to starting the creation of our gorgeous card. So as you can see here, our card base is a triple fold just like this, okay? So all we're going to do is we are going to fold this one in half, this second one, to create our easel card. You can see here how this fold, I've marked it here so that you can see you're going to glue on this side, which is going to give you the top of your easel card. And then we have the bottom here as well. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go ahead. I'm going to grab my Dries Clear. I'm going to go ahead and just add that in here and get that all set up very quickly so that we can get on to the fun part of decorating. Now, when you're folding this, the one thing I want you to be conscious of is these notches here where you're going to be, the fold is. You'll want to make sure that those line up properly so that you don't land up having a crooked easel card. I have done that in the past. It doesn't look, it still sits properly, but I just want you to be able to avoid making that mistake as well. So here you can see we now have the top portion of our easel card. It will fold down onto the bottom. And later on, once we have this all done, it will stop here on the bottom as well. So how about we start with the front? Now, this card I created with paper from the window paper collection, which was so very popular. You guys loved it so much, it has sold out. So I wanted to show you that the Wild Rose, that's the flower we're using today, the Wild Rose paper collection has similar colors in it. It's going to be a little bit darker, but it's going to be just as beautiful and just as elegant. So I wanted to show you that you could swap that up as well, because that paper collection is not available for you at this time, but the Wild Rose is. So we're going to start here with our first piece. Our first piece is this beautiful burgundy color. Now I'm going to grab my dies and I'm going to try and walk you through what I've done here. So we've used the rounded sunlit window to create this first cut. Now this is what it's going to look like when you have your dies open. I've gone ahead and grabbed the circular die. This is going to fit your card base absolutely perfectly. It's a perfect mat to do this. Next, I've gone ahead and grabbed what looks to be like the sunshine rays. They kind of look like rays of sunshine to me because it's called a window die. I've gone ahead and used some low-tack purple painter's tape here just so that you can see how this is done. I've attached them together. We're going to pretend this piece of purple paper is solid. I've gone ahead and laid this in here just like this. So this is the combination I've used to go ahead and lay onto my burgundy purple piece of paper. I've run it through my die cutting machine, and this is what you're going to land up with. A beautiful cut just like this. So that is going to be our background. I'm going to go ahead and attach this using some Dries Clear. And again, super simple, easy to do. These dies cut beautifully. It works so well to mix and match all of the different dies together. Now I'm going to make sure that I have my notch here at the bottom straight so that I'm sort of trying to apply this in a straight fashion. But you can see how that just lays over the top there. Next, I wanted to do a portion that we could layer on top here, and I wanted to offset it with the white, just as we have the inlay here with the white underneath. I decided to use an inlay with the white on top. So this is the piece I opted to go with. Now this is from the rounded lattice window. You're going to see you have two different versions here. I've gone ahead and used this one because I liked how this one, when it's flipped up straight like this, it has the lines running down vertically. And this piece I wanted to use on the bottom so that they would be kind of running horizontally. So that die looks like this. So this is what this die comes looking like. And I've gone ahead and used these two pieces together, the eyelet and then that piece with the horizontal. I've just laid these together onto my white cardstock, and then I have this beautiful piece that gets die cut for me as well. So again, we're just going to use our Dries Clear adhesive. I love this glue. If I get a little bit off the sides, I don't have to worry about those glue smudge marks because it actually does really dry clear. Just our absolute favorite glue to work with, for sure. Just gonna pop my pin back into my glue bottle here. And then we're going to add this to our card front, just like that. And there you can see we have our card base front finished. We're going to go ahead and pop that over, and we're going to move the bottom into frame. Now we're going to go back to that initial die that we used. That is the rounded sunlight window. Remember, that's the one that has the full circle that's going to give you that beautiful map that you're looking for. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to adhere that to the bottom. Just like that. I'm just going to make sure that that fold still works. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to grab that eyelet piece again and that other second piece in the rounded lattice window. So now we're going to be using this one that has these straight bars running from top to bottom. And what we're going to do is we are going to create a pretty bottom layer here with these two pieces. So we're just going to go ahead, and I don't need to put glue everywhere, just enough that it's going to adhere. Just make sure we've got room for this one, and you can see how again that lines up really beautifully for that bottom section. So we will go ahead and pop this into place. Just like that. And you can see how that beautiful pattern just replicates itself opposite and gives you that beautiful, elegant finish for this bottom portion. Now, of course, we need to add a stop. We need something to stop our easel card. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to grab our French courtyard die. And we are going to use these two portions here. We are going to use the happy birthday and the beautiful center there. So super quick and easy. I've gone ahead and done that already. I've used the same papers that we have been using in this design here already. I've gone ahead and backed the happy birthday with the same burgundy color, and I've opted to do the center of this beautiful elegant centerpiece here with the green color. I wanted it to be a little bit more fancy though, so I am going to go ahead and use the rounded window frame die. Remember, we used this piece for a sentiment. I know it looks like there's diamond checker in here. That's a piece you can cut out separately. I'll show you here. I have mine. So you can see here, this is the piece I've gone ahead and used to cut out this pretty little doily looking piece. You can put the diamond checker in there, and that's what will give you that look that you just saw on the packaging there as well. The other thing I wanted to really be clear about is sometimes people ask me about cutting issues. Cutting issues can happen if you are leaving all of this junk paper in your dies. I've left this one full here just to remind myself to share that with you. Remember, when you're cutting out these super intricate dies that are kind of like lacy and doily and have all of these little pieces in them, you want to make sure that you're cleaning this out really well so that you're getting a proper cut each and every time. That's going to help you with your creating as well. So what we're going to do is we are just going to pop this onto the center. Just like this. And you can see now how that just gives us a really pretty background to a more simplistic die cut, and I really like how it goes with the iron wrought work here in the center. I just thought that was super pretty how that finished it out. Next thing we're going to do is, because this is supposed to stop our easel card, we want to use some foam tape on this so that the bottom of the front portion of the card, the top portion of the card, is going to stop that easel action where we want it to stand. So I'm going to try and put this on here sort of straight with a happy birthday. It's a little bit trickier to do this with camera and not look down on it, but I'm thinking that looks pretty straight, and that's going to then go ahead and stop our card just like that. You can see how that now stops our card. So that is the entire base. Super quick and easy to create. You can see how those dies make for elegant card creating, and it's going to be done quickly and easily. Now, for those of you who are insider members, are you aware that there is a class on doing these types of cards with these circle card bases? It's called 15 Versatile Ways to Use Window Dies and Circle Fold Cards. So you're going to get 15 different ideas to go ahead and create multiple cards with different looks using these same dies that I've used today. So again, if you're an insider membership, that access to that class is free for you. If you are not an insider member, we are going to be posting comments below with all the perks for you. There's so many different perks, from 20% off to your orders, including on the spring savings promotion, so you can use both of those promotions together, as well as early access to products, free shipping in the US, 20% off for our international friends, and of course access to all of our free classes. If you're not an insider member, you can purchase that class at $29.99 as well, but once you've checked out the perks for the insider membership, I'm sure that you'll be wanting to join that for sure. Next, we're going to be working on our flower clusters. I know I'm probably going to be keeping you guys a little bit longer today. I hope that's okay, but I always feel for those of us who are new to joining us, maybe to Heartfelt Creations, it's great to see the flower demo as well. So we're going to be using the small wild rose. You can see that it has all of the different sizes here. And of course we have our coordinating die cut system here, where we no longer have to fussy cut by hand, which is totally awesome. We have the large wild rose. We're going to be using this smaller size in the large version along with that beautiful leaf. And of course those coordinating dies, which cut so beautifully on the edge. I'll show you those in just a little bit. We're also going to be using some sweet magnolia buds today. I wanted to add some beautiful stamped embellishments for you into this flower cluster, so I opted to choose the sweet magnolia buds. They have several different varieties here, and again, those dies that do all the hard work for you. And of course, the leafy accents. We can't create a flower cluster without leafy accents. So again, this gives you so many different options. I'm choosing to use just this one again today. I think this one is my absolute favorite. It works so beautiful, especially with the wild rose. And again, those gorgeous dies and the leafy accent shaping mold. I'll show you how to use the shaping mold with the wild roses as well. So the first thing we've gone ahead and done is I've stamped out the images that we're going to be needing. So these are the wild roses that I've stamped out. I've stamped them out in the mulberry ink. Beautiful, beautiful burgundy color. I'm going to go ahead and add some goldenrod into the centers. Now I'm using our Stack and Store daubers here. Super quick and easy to use. Nothing hard about them at all. I'm just going in circular motions and filling out that flower center. Now you can make this as dark or as light as you want. You're the designer. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just all about having fun and a creative outlet, right? Teresa, you're saying you love those leafy accents. Aren't they just the best? They pull together a floral cluster so very quick and easily. Just really, really nice accents to all of your different flowers. They can be used with all of the different flowers. So now I'm coloring this up in magenta hue, and again, just circular motions with my dauber here. Again, as light or as dark, the choice is up to you. I think that's looking great for our purposes. So you can see this is the second size in the largest. We've got the little minis here that are beautiful accent flowers. We're going to use them on our cluster today here as well. And we're going to use some of this mid-sized flower and one of these as well. So onto our wild rose leaf here. I've gone ahead and stamped that in fern green. Fern is a really, really nice, I don't want to say it's dark, but it's not bright either. It's just a nice mid-tone green. I'm going to go ahead and color up with some leaf green. We're just going to go and add some of this lighter color. And I'm just going to kind of pull it up through the center here. Now, while that leaf is very nice, it still looks very flat toned. So what I want to go ahead and do is grab my fern green. This is the color that I've gone ahead and stamped it in already. And I'm just going to go ahead and start bringing some of that color straight up the center. And you can see how that now has changed the color of that leaf. We have some darker coming up the center. We have some lighter on the side, and I've even left a little bit of white here. It's going to give us a very nice professional looking leaf. Next, we're going to move along to our leafy accent here. I've gone ahead and I've stamped this one in English Ivy. That is a darker color leaf, or a darker color ink. We are going to go ahead and color that one up with some olive. So we're just going to go ahead and start adding. Olive is a little bit of a darker green. You can see the difference here between the two greens that we're working for. When I'm doing a floral cluster, I really like to change up the hues of my greens when it comes to leafy accents and the flower leaf as well. It's just going to make your flower cluster a little bit more interesting. So you can see this is super quick and easy to do. Nothing to it. And again, because I don't want those leaves to be too flat colored looking, I'm going to go back in with the English Ivy, which is the color that I did use. I'm going to use kind of like the corner of my dauber here, just to go and add in some darker color accents up the center, just like we did for that rose leaf. And you can see how that changes up our foliage piece so it doesn't look so white and flat. Jennifer, so Leafy Accents is a stamp and die set? Yes, along with the coordinating mold. So somewhere along the way, I think we have probably already dropped the link for that. But if it is not later on, I will go back and drop that link for you so that you find that quickly and easily. Hello, Leanne, my friend. It's so good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you had time away at the store. You could come for a visit and craft with me today. So here we have the two magnolia buds that we're going to use. These I opted to go ahead and color in with my Zig markers. So I've just gone ahead, I've got 2 greens, 2 pinks, and a yellow. So all I'm going to do here is we'll color up just a few of these here real quick. I don't want to keep you too long, but I do want to show you that this is super quick and easy to do. So I'm just going to color up. I'm not even worried that I have to fill up all of the white spots here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to add in some darker accents yet too, just like this, using the markers just as they are today as markers. So you can see that's super quick and easy to do. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do here is these leaves. I'm going to give a nice coat of a bright green. And then what I'm going to go in and do is just add a little bit of a more vibrant green. That one was a greenish yellow. This one is more of a light green. And you can see how that kind of starts to come to life. Let's see if we can show you that there. So again, super quick and easy coloring technique, because these guys are really our background singers to our main event, right? Which is our beautiful floral clusters. So for those of you who are not familiar with how our dies work, I'll show you this one here, the Leafy Accents. All you would do is you would slip this over. I would grab a low-tack painter's tape or a paper tape. In Canada we have something called paper tape that works really well. It doesn't lift off the finish on your paper. And then I would run this all through my die cutting machine. Super, super quick and easy. And you come out with these beautiful cuts, which I'll show you in just a second here. So again, we have these beautiful die cuts here. We've got the leafy accent, we've got a couple of leaves, and we have some petals in different shapes and sizes. So again, we're going to grab our shaping mold here. This is the large shaping mold. You can see I have some already shaped for us in here. You can see that this is very well shaped in the mold. All we have to do is finish rounding out the centers. But I did notice here a step that I did miss on the flowers. I really wanted the edges of these flowers to be defined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with the mulberry, the same color that I stamped them in, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that color to these petal tips. And you're going to see how this is just going to really ramp up the beauty of this flower. This reminds me of the wild roses that we will have growing on our side roads and ditches shortly here in Manitoba, Canada. They always have these beautiful deep burgundy petal tips. So there you can see what a difference that has made. It's just so much more defined versus the one that has not been colored in that way. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop these into their corresponding cavities. The leaves I always like to put down. Flowers, you can shape either face up, stamp side up, or stamp side down. You're going to create two different looks based on how you put your flowers into the shaping mold. So again, there's no right, there's no wrong. You are a designer. You get to choose what you want your flower to look like. A quick spritz of water here. I've used our deluxe flower shaping paper, which has been engineered exactly to take some small amounts of water so that you're going to have that beautiful finished process. It's going to keep your ink true to color. And then of course we would zip this through our die cutting machine. I use a Big Shot to shape mine. So plastic plate on bottom and top, and I would run that through my die cutting machine. And then you can see we have those beautiful shaped pieces, which all we need to do now is round out the center. So we're going to go ahead and just round out the center here, just like that. And you can see how those petals just pop right up. So we're going to put that to the side along with the leaf. We have the small shaping mold here as well. We're going to be using some of these smaller ones as well. You can see this one I've actually layered up with two of them. It works to layer these up to 3 layers. It works really well, which really cuts down on your flower shaping time. And all we're going to do is we're going to once again round out these centers. These would normally still be a little bit wet when we would be doing this. These have been in my mold now for a couple of days because I was getting ready. But you can see they still lift up beautifully. So we're going to pop these guys off to the side. And lastly, we have our leafy accents. You're going to see this does just as beautiful a job with the shaping as those flower molds do. Just beautiful. We've got that delicate shaping done for us. And all we would do is pop these in place. A quick spritz of water, because again, that deluxe flower shaping paper is perfect for this application. And we would run this again through our die cutting machine. The last thing we would need to do is we would need to die cut our magnolia pieces. Here you can see I've got them colored and die cut. This we're going to be doing a little bit of hand shaping on. I'm just going to use some circular motions to run across the back of this die cut, and you can see how those pieces pop up. We're going to need some glue points, so I'm going to go ahead and just press down from the front as well so that we have some glue points later on. We're going to do the same thing here, just a little bit of quick hand shaping. It doesn't take much, but you can see how that starts popping up off the page. And there we go. We now have those ready as well. Now we come to the fun part of building our floral cluster. So here we're going to grab our card base. We are going to start with our leafy accent pieces. And we're just going to go ahead. I'm using hot glue today just so we can do this very quickly and easily. We're just going to go ahead and add these in here. just like that. We're going to build some flowers. These roses are beautiful as single flowers, but they are also beautiful as doubles and triples. We're going to use 3 to create the largest base flower. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to go and add some glue here. I'm going to offset my petals and just take my stylus tool and set it ever so gently. And then we're going to take our 3rd petal and we're going to go ahead, offset them again. And you can see as I'm pushing down how those pieces are starting to pop up and they're starting to look like a real wild rose. I can pull some of these back on the bottom if I want it to make it look like it's cupping up even further. I can push these around if I want them to be a little bit more dimensional. The next size we have here is the largest size in the small wild rose, and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go ahead though and make this one a double. We're just going to offset our petal pieces. And isn't the definition on those petal pieces just exquisite? Aren't you glad we inked those edges? Is that a technique you guys use from time to time? Okay, so back to our, we want to make sure that we have it straight here. We're going to kind of start placing our largest flower and our mid-sized flower. We want to go ahead and grab our shaped leaves here and kind of figure out where we want those as well. But before we do that, let's go ahead and actually add some of our accent pieces here. Let's go ahead and on those glue points, go ahead and add our hot glue and get our magnolia buds in here. And here we've got the flowering version. We'll have that one come, I'll tuck that stem in there and have this one come kind of off down the side. There you can see how they're kind of moving in opposing directions. So we kind of would want our largest flower up in here, like this. Maybe some leaves in here. I think that's looking good. Let's go ahead and pop them in there. And we'll grab this other one. I think that looks good, and I think we can go ahead and add our large flower here. We'll just give that a second to set up, and then we'll go ahead and see what we can do with our leaves over here. That's looking pretty good, so we will go ahead and add those in there. So again, so much fun to build your floral clusters. Do you love to build your floral clusters with all the different bits and pieces, the leafy accents, those types of things? So there, we can nestle that in there. It's funny, as you turn your flowers around, often you'll find exactly how they'll nestle together just by the petal shapes, the way they've been shaped. So there you can see we have our main large flowers. Now we're going to work with some of the other sizes. So we've got some of these size, we've got some really tiny ones. So let's go ahead and use this larger one up here. We're going to pop that up in here. These wild roses, these smaller ones, make beautiful filler flowers when you're working with other flowers as well. Let's go and pop that up in there. I think that's pretty good. We'll go ahead and we'll nestle a couple more down here. So you can see I've decided to leave these as singles. And maybe we'll do one more down there, or maybe one more up in here. I'm going to kind of try and tuck this one behind a leaf a little bit. Our flowers are sometimes hidden by our leaves, right? So there you can see we have a beautiful wild floral cluster that's going to be the main part of our card. Next, we're going to go ahead and we are going to do our flower centers. For that, I've opted to use some prills. I'm just going to grab them here. They are the Go Mango. They are a beautiful bright yellow. Perfect for our wild roses. I'm going to go ahead and do just one of the flower centers here for you. I'm just going to go ahead and puddle up some hot glue for these today. I want these to kind of dome, so you can see how I'm going to get that rounded dome in there with hot glue, and I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on my prills. Normally I would let them set up a little bit in that hot glue, but because we're in a bit of a hurry today, we are going to go ahead and just dump them off so I can clean them up while it sets. But you can see how that's going to give you that beautiful, beautiful wild rose center. Next, we're going to go ahead and use some glitter. For today, I've opted to use the Crystal Ultra Fine in the color Baby's Breath. It's a beautiful pink, super, super pretty. So I'm just going to grab my Hydro Sponge and my Dry's Clear Glue. I'm going to go ahead and just add some glue on in here. And I won't do the whole flower. I will just give you a quick demo because I know we're going a little bit later today. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit those petal tips with that glue. I'm going to grab my glitter and just go ahead and pop that off. And later when that dries, it's going to dry clear and you're going to have this beautiful, beautiful shimmer and shine. I'll show you on the finished one here. You'll be able to see it. But you can see how it just has that beautiful sparkly finish. So pretty. So as I promised, I have a few samples that I wanted to share with you here as well. So the Shutterfold card here, this one has been done by Darla. This is absolutely stunning. And you can see how this is a shutter idea. That's where it gets the name from. It's got that beautiful 6x6 center square that you can write your message in. And again, beautiful, done in the classic rose here. Isn't that so pretty? Super, super pretty. We have got the other version here that I spoke about. This is the one that has the folds that all fold in. So you could definitely put a piece of decorative paper in here to mat that. You could mat all of the different sides just to finish out that card in the center as well. Here we've got the beautiful asters. I don't know who made this one. This one hasn't been labeled, so I'm guessing this may have been done by the in-house team at Heartfelt Creations. We have got the circle card base, which we looked at and worked at with today as well. This one they've done a little bit different. This one would stand up straight like this. They've gone ahead and taken off the third card panel, so you could definitely do that as well. That's an idea that you could go ahead and use that on a separate card. This one I'm guessing too must have been done in-house. I don't have an artist here that I can credit with that design as well. And then of course there's the card with the card base we worked on together last Friday with the poppies, and this was I think this is the swing fold card base. This was the one that we designed together and worked together with last Friday. So again, so many different card bases. Those 4 different dies are so versatile with each and every one of these card bases. So again, I do hope that you have enjoyed what I had to share with you today. Remember that spring savings promo is running until March the 25th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or while supplies last. Again, the 2 different bundles, the card base bundle at a 15% discount, as well as the die bundle at a 15% discount. Or if you're wanting to pick those dies up singly, they are at a 10% savings as well. Again, don't forget to sign up for that class showing you the 15 different ways you can use these card bases together with these decorative card bases and dies. Again, if you're an insider member, you have free access to that class. That's one of those perks for you. So once you have all of your crafty stash at home and been delivered, you can set off into creating your very own beautiful works of art. So thank you again, my friend, for spending time with me today. I'm sorry I've kept you a little bit longer. I hope it's been worth it. I can't wait to craft with you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.